Hello everyone, welcome once again to yet another speaker live sessions for Hack This Fall Season 2. Super happy to have you all over here joining us. We do have another interesting topic to discuss, to talk about in this speaker live session, which is sailing with containers. But before we jump onto that, let me quickly let you know what Hack This Fall is all about. Hack This Fall is hosting its season 2 this fall, which is on in the October month. The dates are 22nd to 24th of October. Do not forget to miss that out. All the required links are there in the description. Make sure you check it out. We have recently crossed 1,000 registrations, which is a super wonderful mark for all of us. We have grown our Discord community over 1,100 Discord members. That's awesome. Super happy once again to have you all over there joining us. Don't forget to grab all of your swags from our website, hackthisworld.tech/swag. For Discord joining, you can use this link. And for checking out for the speaker session, make sure you check out the schedule page on our website. Cool. Enough of me speaking. Let me quickly invite Gourav Sharma on the stage, for which we all are here waiting for this session. Hi, Gaurav. How's it going?
Hello, Siddharth. Nice to hear those numbers, man. Now that makes me more nervous. And I guess as every individual, I also love swag. So I hope Siddharth can definitely help me in getting those. But having said that, Siddharth, while you were talking about these numbers, I was recollecting one of my thoughts that I have always believed that your limitation, it's only your imagination. Getting my point that your limitation is
Absolutely.
only your imagination. You can do wonders if you think that yes, you can do it. So just believe in yourself and push hard. Do whatever best you can do, and automatically the things will turn around. So all kudos to the Hack the Fall team season 2. So bringing out such an amazing and giving me this opportunity. So let's see how I can do good.
Definitely. And we will definitely, send you some awesome swag. You do not need to worry about that.
Waiting,
Everyone who
waiting.
are aware about Hack This Fall knows that we have a bunch of swags available for all. And yes, what a pleasant, line to start with. Believe in yourself. That's so true. And you can create
Yes.
wonders and just, do something extraordinary. Thanks a lot for starting with such a positive note. Sure. So I'll quickly bring up your slides. And here we are. I hope it's visible to
Okay.
everyone. And the virtual stage is all yours.
Thank you so much, Siddharth, and thank you so much the entire team of Hack the Fall, all the amazing sponsors, and more importantly, all the live viewers. I hope you all are doing great, and more importantly, as I said, that your imagination. I believe your limitation can only be defined by your imagination, and your imagination is just the limits. But more importantly, what I want to talk before before starting off the official session, is that the great things never comes from the comfort zone. So today we are going to talk about containers. So sailing with containers. I chose this topic because I felt that everybody is so embarked in developing the application. Everybody is so occupied here and there talking about C++, Java, and XYZ. While there are many other people who are still struggling to define what the way should be to get started with the like enterprise world and all. So my name is Gaurav, and I work as a solution architect with Red Hat, and that was just by profession. And now I figured it out that by passion, I also need to start serving the community, and that's where I started my own YouTube channel, Cheers with Gaurav. And I started discovering that to balance the like right difference between the passion and profession is equally important, like how the ship sails in water. There will be a lot of things that you cannot control. It's beyond your imagination. Like you cannot control the winds, you can only adjust the sail. So that's where I understood that this industry is having some amazing technology around, and one of them famous word in today's world is containers. So first of all, before getting even kickoff, I want to again thank the entire Hack the Fall 2.0 team for giving me this opportunity to share my ideas. So before we jump on to why containers, these businesses are experienced and is becoming more software centric, and that is nowhere a reality that any of the things in today's virtual world is beyond our application. Even if we are getting live with each other, you are able to use YouTube, we are joining us via StreamYard, or I guess we are chatting on WhatsApp, we have n number of like applications installed in our phones. Everything, if you develop, start thinking in a way that okay, this is a software centric that we are developing. And more importantly, for any organization that you are going to work with in near future, you need to create a value for an organization that give you that hey, you need to develop and deliver a high quality application faster. And believe this last word that I have written on any infrastructure. Today you cannot ask anyone that hey, you be on cloud, you be on-prem, you use virtualization, or if you have multiple cloud option, you cannot restrict anyone that you should go only with this cloud. No. And that's where I said I read this IDC report that was conducted in 2018, which simply predicted that from 2018 to 2023, from here 2 years, 500 million new logical app will be created, and that will be equal to the number that we have developed in past 40 years. So don't you think that is a great number to step inside the world of application development by using containers? In today's world, every single organization is trying to be the digital disruptors. And digital disruptors, or if you want to get digital transform, it cannot happen only and only just by adopting the digital technologies. There need to be open processes, there need to be open architecture, whole things need to get changed. And you as an individual or as an organization need to transform as a cultural change. You need to bring that cultural change, and that's the reason you are hearing a lot and lot about DevOps, right? So these are the technical reasons, and IDC predicted this survey in 2018 that 500 million new logical apps will come in place. So let me share you some global tech out report that was just published in 2021. And this is particular thing that which is showing on your screen is that what will be the shift towards containerized workload in next 12 months. Today, as of now, if you see that we are just adopting 21% in the organization, they are working on containers. But in upcoming 12 months, that from here to in 2022, this number will be going to get almost double. That is going to touch up 52%. The organization will adopt the containers. And so even if you talk about globally, I was able to fetch the report in a very significant way that if you see in a regional wise, today in North America, the application are just 23% which are containerized. But on the other side, in next 12 months, it will be crossing to 50%. In EMEA region, it is 18. We'll be touching upon 41%. In LATAM, it is 27, but it is predicted to have 66%. In APEC, where we are, you can easily predict that it has 21% adoption rate, while it is going to get again close to 2x, that is 45%. And this is the rate which is growing every single day. We can understand we have a large population, large number of targets to be done, but yes, it is, you can see every single global place ecosystems they are trying to adopt. Even if I'll talk about the industry standards, you can see easily in the government sector. Look, government has just 17% of container application as of now, but by next 1 year, in 12 months, it is going to cross to 37%. In healthcare, it is 21%. It is going to get doubled by 47%. In financial services, 25% to 50%. Even in the telecommunication, it is 29% to 55%. You can see these number. I just want to showcase you to develop your interest that this is the way where you are going to get to see container in next 12 months in one or way or the other. So let's start talking about why companies are actually using the containers. I'll definitely touch upon on that part, that why virtualization, why containers, but bear with me for next few minutes. Now, see why companies are using containers. One of the most important reason that why companies are developing the application is that they need to have a speed, efficiency, and process simplification. We just talked about, we all want to be the digital disruptors, but that cannot happen only by adopting the digital technology. And why we are automating, why we are improving ourselves to be better. When application is already there, what we can do, we can increase their efficiency. We need to simplify the processes, we need to amplify the speed, we need to be more agile. And that's the reason, you see, this is one of the like service Forrester report that was conducted in 2016, which simply says the adoption of containers, because industry is becoming more app centric. It is becoming more app centric, whether it is like the key factors that were identified, that everybody needs to deliver their apps faster, they need to have the integration faster, they need to have more improved efficiency, they need to improve their devops collaboration. While it is very low, but in upcoming days it is going to go more and more and more. So you can see the only reason that companies are looking for adopting the containers is they want to be more agile. They want to be more swift. They want to be more speedy than they ever were. So having said that, why containers? One of the biggest reason that industry is looking for the containers, you become platform agnostic. You can deploy container on any platform, whether it is on your physical machine, means on your laptop if you want to deploy it on localhost, if you want to deploy it on VM, if you want to deploy it on cloud. By the name cloud, I means hybrid cloud, multi clouds, or all the public cloud offering, whether it is like Amazon, Google, or if you talk about Microsoft, Alibaba, IBM, HP, you name it, DigitalOcean, everywhere container works exactly the same way. More importantly, if you have your own private cloud like OpenStack or HP or any other organization, if you have created your own, you can use anywhere. And containers just work the same they were working over there. So nothing changed on the application development model. This is one of the biggest myth, that if I have to adopt the container, I have to revamp my application, moving from one platform to another. No, once you have done the containerization, it's all same. Let's say I created an app on my laptop. Now, tomorrow I want to move it to cloud. Do I need to re-architect it? No, absolutely no. You need not to re-architect it. You just go and use just move your container from there. That is very simple as that. Let's move further. One tip that I want to tell you all, when it comes to containers, it starts with Linux. I highly recommend every one of you who wants to start using containers, who wants to step into the container world, start learning Linux. And toward the end, I'll also show or give you some of the links that are free resources that our industry recommend. Just go and check that out. It will give you a numerous knowledge on containers and other topics that I'm going to talk about. Reason being, Linux is the foundation for containers. Container run on Linux container host. Nowadays, definitely Windows containers are also available, but as of now, the Linux is the core, and I guess Linux container host is something that everybody is looking for. So start learning container. I would say that yes, if you are a typical Windows or Mac user, it might create some small difference to you, but I believe you can easily learn that even when you have started learning something new, it would have take some time to get mature and get habitual to it. So don't worry, Linux is very fun to learn, and I'll share some of the link towards the end where you can with ease, you can easily learn the Linux. Now, let's talk about containers. So what are containers? It is a lightweighted VMs only. It is a consolidated environment. So Linux container are technologies that allows you to package and isolate the application with the entire runtime. Why I'm reading this application, this particular definition, is because that's what the Google says. What I can help you, trust me, in next 10 to 15 minutes, you will understand yourself what container exactly means to you. So let's talk about containers versus virtual machines. Reason being, you can understand VMs. What is the reason we are using VMs? We simply say that we want to isolate the hardwares. Now, Thing is, when you spin up a OS or when you spin up an operating system, many a times you willingly or unwillingly get your resource acquainted with a lot of like undesirable services that you cannot avoid. Now, if I have to run, let's say, three application and all three applications require different software versions, how I'm able to deploy it on a single host? I understood that, okay, now I create three VMs. But again, to spin up these three VMs, I need to dedicate some of the resources. And these dedication of resources again takes a lot of time. While spinning up the OS also requires some of the time and other parts. My work to be more agile needs to speed up my operations, need to spin up my efficiency. I need to be faster, more quicker. So in that way, containers comes in. So if I have to just make your difference very much clear, on this side, these are the VMs. On this side, it is the containers. So many a times, if you have heard about virtual machines, VMware, Oracle Box, KVM are the most common one. On the other side, if you are talking about containers, Docker, nowadays Podman, Cryo, these are the words. Definitely VM, if it is a king size, container is gonna be just like a size of a rat. If it is elephant, you can compare it with rat. If startup of a VM takes like a turtle, it is gonna be like a cheetah. On the other side, integration, container is as flawless, as simple as that. You can just take one or two commands and you are done. So that makes you more efficient, more simpler. If you want to understand more, that still, what is VM and what is container, Gaurav, we are not able to understand. Let me give you one more example. So in case of VM, let's say I have a 16 GB of laptop. I want to create three VMs, and for that I need 6, and 4 divisions. Is it 16? Yeah. So 6 GB one VM, 4 GB one VM, 6 GB another VM. Now these three VMs, what I have done, memory used is 9 GB. How it can be a 9 GB means what I'm trying to do is 4 plus 3 plus 2. That is getting used. Now, technically, in these VMs, I have some vacant spaces that all of you would be experiencing. Like everyone cannot say, Gaurav, I have a 16 GB RAM laptop and I'm using all 16 of it. No, there are few things which are left. So in this case, what you are able to do, the wastage of 7 GB RAM. Now, this 7 GB of RAM is blocked and cannot be allotted to a new VM because it is a thick allocation. Means a 6 GB dedicated to this VM, I cannot steal this 2 GB free, which I have allocated. Either I have to shut down the entire VM and then spin up a new. In case of container or in case of Docker, what it is happening? I allocated three VMs, 4 GB use, 3 GB use, 2 GB use. Now 9 GB is used, 7 GB that is absolutely free can easily be allocated to the new container because containers are the restricted environment. So now let's see, if you are talking about VMs and containers, if somebody asks you, give it this one-liner definition. Virtual machine isolates the hardware, containers isolates the processes. As simple as that. I hope everybody is able to get it now. The clear line, thin line differentiation, guys. Please drop in the comment that if you can easily understand. VMs isolate the hardware, container isolate the processes. You can easily see in this example what I have done. This is my laptop on top of which I have deployed a Oracle VM and on which I have deployed one VM. And in that, my 4 applications are running. Again, to deploy this VM, I need to install an OS on which there are some operations like OS dependencies will be there on top of which I am going to deploy the app. What if my VMs goes down, my entire hardware is blocked? On this side, this is my hardware on top of which an hypervisor is already deployed, means an OS is running. I have a container host that is somewhere like you can understand by Docker. Now this is your Docker and here, boom, all your applications are running. If this container goes off, this is not going to create an impact on this container and it becomes more faster. Now you can see when I'm going to run this container and it is having like app one, which I'm saying. Now this app one will have only the OS dependencies that is required to run this app. In this case, you have a common pool of OS dependencies that is going to shared by all 4 applications. This becomes more faster, quicker, lightweighted. I hope everybody is able to understand that what is the clear line of differentiation between virtual machines and containers. But I know there are few people who can still say that, Gaurav, we are not able to understand. Now, let's see it in this perspective. This is your VM. It is a clear ownership boundary between a developer and a IT operational tribes. We are going to talk about DevOps, but yes, DevOps is just a practice that everybody adopts. It is a mindset, it is not a tool at all. So if you see in case of this VM, it is more inclined toward the IT operational development a bit, because developer people don't prefer to work on VMs. But over here, we have a clear separation line. Why I'm saying clear separation line? This is being managed by the IT operational, and this is completely dedicated environment for the developers. Now, what happens is this gives you more stability, while this gives you more agility. VMs are quite stable because whenever I need another resource, I can easily get it. Over here, you become more agile, more lightweight because I have a restricted environment where I can just pull off the things when I require. If this VMs need 4 GB of RAM to spin up an application, this will consume hardly 2 GB, or I should say even like 200 MB. I have seen that differentiation as well. So you can easily see if you want some more stability, this is your VMs. If you want some more agility, you want to be more fast, container is your go-to option. Right? I hope you can easily get to know now what is virtual machines and what are container. Now, if you want to isolate your hardware, go for VMs. If you want to isolate your processes, go for containers. Everything cannot be containerized, everything cannot be virtualized. So it totally depends on you what you are trying to do. Having said that, now this is something that I want to always emphasize you. When you are trying to develop an application, whenever you are trying to develop an application, understand in a simple way. Any app on any footprint, anywhere. As simple as that. Any app, any footprint, anywhere. Now, whether it is your bare metal, whether it is your cloud, private cloud, public cloud, hybrid cloud, multi cloud, whether it is your VMs, your deployments need to be same across all the platform, and that's where you will understand the app portability. Let's take a very simple example. Today I invested my time to create an app. I got a good deal in Amazon. Just for our sake, I got a good deal in Amazon. Tomorrow I got a good deal from Microsoft. I want to move my running application from Amazon to Microsoft. Platform is still cloud, nothing changed. But thing is, if my application is platform agnostic, then only I can make this smooth transition. In this case, if you have easy container adoption, you can easily move it. So whenever you deploy an application, always maintain this app portability in your mind. If you have the app portability, I guess it's easy to deploy application on any platform for that matter. Now, having said that, what we understood from now, this is how your containers look. Is there any change? No. If it is your private laptop, just deploy a VM, or like I always suggest RHEL. So I have mentioned RHEL. Your container is working this. Tomorrow I got in onto the bare metal where I understood like, okay, I'm getting some bare metal racks or those servers. Container work the same way. No, no, no. I want to deploy back to my virtual machines. Again, the same. I want to go to private cloud. Again, the same. Private public cloud doesn't make any difference at all. So this is the application portability that you can easily achieve. It's as simple, as smooth, no time down, nothing changes. It's just that infrastructure, you that is the infrastructure concern. Application works as smooth, as simple as that if you are going to deploy it on the containers. So let's see. This was one of the reports which says that the real value of container lies in portability. But in 2019, it was predicted that 30% of organization is using the containers. You know, we are in 2021, and the prediction says 75% of organization is using containers in production by 2022. So you can easily imagine the close to 3x growth, why containers are becoming so popular in the market. Having said that, definitely when you are trying to adopt something new, there are challenges. So you all must be wondering, sitting and in front of this YouTube video, you all must be wondering why this container. This guy is talking about app portability, stability, this. Now, thing is, yes, there are a lot of challenges comes along. Like I have created thousands of container. How I'm going to manage it? Where I'm going to place the containers? My mom is used to store in the kitchen, but how I am going to store these containers, where I'm going to put it up, how many backup copies I have to create for container to meet the demand. What happen if one of my container goes down and entirely one host goes down? If I have to scale up, how I'm going to maintain the need? So, very simple answer to it. You need a management tool. You need a management tool to manage your entire like containers infrastructure. Now, definitely Docker is one of the most popular tool to get started with your containers, but I would still suggest go with Podman. Go with Podman to use it. Now, having said that, when we're talking about containers, let's start point by point. How I'm going to manage the container. So containers, you require a engine, what I should say, a container engine to run up the containers. That is the most important thing that you require. One of the most popular is Docker. I would still say go for Docker. Now, second, where do I place the containers that is available across the host? Answer to that is again the public repo. Host your containers on the public repo or use the public repo like GitHub or dockerhub.io, and many others are there. Just go and check it out. How many container copy do I need to meet the demand? Now, having said that, it totally depends on individual, what kind of project you are working on, what kind of things that you are trying to build, and how you are going to maintain that. So that is the most important part. You cannot decide the copies of container in just one go. Container spin up time, we have just seen it is just like a cheetah. It is just gonna click on the click. Hardly it takes 5 to 10 seconds. It can spin back again. So need not to worry about that how I'm going to work. Now, what happens if the one of my container goes down and one of my host goes down? That's where you require a smart tool to manage your containers. If that can be taken care with the help of a tool, my task is done. So does container scale as per the requirement? Means today I have a application that is requiring 10 containers. Tomorrow I need 12. Day after tomorrow 50, 60, 70, 80. Now this concept is called scale in and scale out. Like everybody, sorry, all of you are doing shopping online. Many a times you must have observed that the websites become slow or application become a bit slow when sale is up and live. Every single time what happens? They just simply raise up their VMs or containers so that workload is can be managed. And once the sale is down, we know that there will be a rapid downfall in the numbers of users. So automatically scale down. So you can understand scale up and scale down. Now this cannot be measured by a one person that I'm gonna sit here. Oh, Rishita is shopping. Oh, Siddharth is shopping. Oh, she is shopping. Oh, Ravleen is shopping. Oh, the Hack the Fall team has started the Cheers with Gaurav session. So let's raise up the container. No, they cannot do it. There should be a like automated way or like some tool to be there that can make the things rise up, right? So to maintain all those challenges that containers were facing, we introduced another tool called Kubernetes. Now, what does this Kubernetes mean? Now, the basic part to understand your Kubernetes is what all the challenges that you are getting in containers. Kubernetes is your pilot or helmsman of that ship. You can easily see, look, if I'll take you back to this particular challenges slide, you can see the containers are loaded on ship. Now, how this ship is sailing? Simple, easy to understand. It is sailing on the water and somebody is maintaining it. And that's the reason, the Kubernetes logo has this like that pilot or like helmsmanship. That logo is embedded with that how you can how you can redirect the ship. So that's the reason Kubernetes is that orchestration engine that helps the containers management. This is the most easiest way to maintain or manage your containers, right? That's the most important part. That is the most easiest way to understand the Kubernetes technology. Now, having said that, what's Kubernetes? Kubernetes was a project that was started by Google, and I guess one of the most famous games of Google, Pokemon Go, was also running on Kubernetes only. Means the containers, but managed by the Kubernetes only. Yes, this is a graduated project of CNCF, Cloud Native Computing Foundation. Kubernetes is like again an open source system for automating deployment, scaling, and management of containerized application. Hey, repeat with me. The Kubernetes is an open source system for automating deployment, Scaling and management of containerized application. You can easily understand Kubernetes definition itself says what we were discussing: containers, how we can deploy the containers, how we can scale up the containers, how we can better manage the application. Everything can easily be done by the Kubernetes. But now try to understand one more concept. Every single container deployment doesn't require Kubernetes. Reason being, when you have a large microservices deployment, Kubernetes is your go-to option. But when you have a small, like containers deployment, you can easily use tools like Docker Swarm. That can also do the management things for you. But having said that, when it comes to Kubernetes, make sure that you have a very large infrastructure that you should go ahead. Don't rush behind Kubernetes. Hey, I want to learn Kubernetes and I'll be expert in containers. Absolutely no. Clear your fundamentals first. And that's the reason it's require a lot of understanding that where you want to deploy it. Now Kubernetes builds upon a decade and half of the experience that Google has with the running production workload at scale. You can easily understand that Google has a lot of services. It was becoming difficult for Google to adopt the best practices, and that's the reason they started developing a project that have the capability to give us the scale up and scale down, give us the better management, make us more agile, make us more efficient in management of my application. And that's where you can easily understand Kubernetes was started by Google, and now there are a lot of open source organizations who have started contributing to it. Everybody does it. I'm proud to say, because I belongs to Red Hat, and yes, Red Hat is the number one contributor after Google in Kubernetes space. So that's the again a fun part. Now, if I have a very good container understanding, I do have the Kubernetes, then still why there is a challenge in adopting containers and Kubernetes technologies? What are the challenges that anybody faces when it comes to adoption of Kubernetes and containers? This is very interesting and you will all going to love it. So let's say thinking about the DIY that, hey, I'm very good. I'm a like chill person. I can manage this thing and that thing. Let's talk what might needs to include when it comes to container and Kubernetes. We have your Linux OS that is freely available. Kubernetes, again, an open source project. You use it. You have the containers Docker that you can also use it. Then why still the challenge is, I have an orchestration engine, I have a management engine, I have a container, I have an OS. What is the challenge? You can easily understand. And that's the reason I have put this slide in the main block. What are the important efficiency to understand that if you are going to adopt Kubernetes? Very first most important part, when you are going to deploy a Kubernetes, you don't have an OS support. By default, Kubernetes is just a tool that doesn't come with operating system. It is not going to give you any developer tooling or UX. The graphical things that you are worrying about: container runtime, image registry, software defined networking, load balancer, routine, log management, container matrices, DNS, ingress, RBAC. All these things are the challenges while adopting the Kubernetes. This is the most important part. And I guess this is, I personally love to explore the technology in this way. You understand? When it comes to containers, we were becoming more agile. With Kubernetes, I was enjoying the management. But who said where is the operating system? How I'm going to get the image registry into it? How I'm going to manage my DNS? How I'm going to monitor the application that I have developed? How I'm going to use the logging? How I'm going to manage the log if something goes down? How I'm going to give the role-based access control to the users? How I'm going to understand about the DNS? You log into google.com. You are not going to log in into 8.8.8.8. How I'm going to resolve these things? When it comes to like lot of containers, how I'm going to monitor that which container pod is going to get down, where it is getting down, and how I'm going to understand. So all the customers or third party must configure, integrate, operate, and support the additional component to be fully operational. So this is a lot of things that are working around, and that's where you understand the full package for all the container adoption. And that's why I give you the CNCF landscape. Now everybody must be wondering in the chat that, Gaurav, what was this? Now you understand this is your CNCF project, Cloud Native Computing Foundation Landscape. You talk about like let's say from the infrastructure layer. So you have your Amazon, Azure, Google Cloud, Alibaba, Oracle, OpenStack, Packet, VMware, Fujitsu, XYZ. So if you need an infrastructure, choose this. If you are talking about provisioning, you can use Terraform, Bosch, Choreo, Helm, many other tools are there. If you're looking for a runtime, OS, Core OS is there, Snappy is there, Atomic is there. If you're looking for a cloud native storage, Amazon S3 is there, SolidFire is there, Rook is there, uh, like Portrex is there, DataBA, Hemio, I can go and on and on and on. When you're talking about a container runtime, remember the Docker? Yes, container D is there. Hyper underscore is there, Rocket is there, many other tools are also available. When it comes to networking, you can get it via Docker component also, VMware also provides it, Flannan also provides it. So Weave is also one of the greatest tool which is getting nowadays. Tigra is there. All these tools are also available. Now for management, Kubernetes is one of the most famous one. I said about Docker Swarm that if you have a small requirement, use Docker Swarm. If you have a big requirement, use Kubernetes. Mesos is there, Nomad is there, or AWS ECS services there. So as other component have started making their own way of publishing Kubernetes, so those things are also available. I just talked about service discovery. ETCD is there, SignalX is there, Netflix is also using it. Talking about service management, you all guys are familiar with Nginx. You are all familiar with Backplane, DataWire. All these things are there. So my point of discussion is that a lone learning container is not going to work anything for you. It is not going to work anything for you. You just start learning containers, nothing. Always remember these challenges, that if you are going to adopt a container or Kubernetes, what are the challenges that organization is facing that you need to solve to get the best result? That's where I always recommend, if you want to kick off getting started with containers, question yourself that are you well versed with this landscape or not? At least choose one component. Just go to github.com/cncf/landscape and you can find this image. Just go and start talking about these individual blocks and understand one component from each. Source control management, you all know about GitHub, done. Service registry, Quay, done. Talking about CI/CD, Jenkins, done. Service as a code, Stripe, Checker, done. Or even you can leave some of them, but you have to integrate them all to produce the best results, right? So that is one of the way. Now these are the things that if you start developing on your own integration, build the complete DIY Kubernetes stack out of this, test the Kubernetes stack, keep up the Kubernetes for every single 90 days, because what happens in CNCF, everybody knows every single day you get the frequent updates, because this is whole what we are developing. So every single 90 days I always recommend you all to update your stack. That's where add-on projects, what I said over here to all of you, learn about some of the blocks, start implementing it. Once you have started integrating it, keep adding more and more. Also, always remember, I highly recommend everyone who have started learning Linux or they are into the starting phase, patching OS securities. This can be even good in terms of contribution, but at least make sure that your OS is always upgraded. Then find the full stack problem. Reason being, when you are going to integrate all these things, you will face the challenges. And those challenges will become your experience that makes you stand out of the crowd. That makes you stand out of the crowd. So you have to make sure that whatever you are doing is absolutely amazing. So find the full stack problem and fix them up. Now, having said that, all without any enterprise technical support means don't ask for help, 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 help. Open source is just like you and me. Open source is just like you and me. We people are developing it. So just don't go here and there and just start talking about that, hey, I need help, I need that. Challenges are there. Try to solve the challenges. Try to solve the challenges. And once you are able to deploy it, I guess you are enterprise ready. No company is going to leave the talent like you. Nobody is going to leave the talent like you. So that's where I always recommend, always have these question to your head, that if you are trying to adopt an application, you are developing an application, you are learning a technologies, ask why. Or, in our tech world, one of the famous crime, one of the most important crime that you do while demonstrating your application in front of someone, and you all, if you are a college graduate student or if you are a working professional, the number one crime you can commit in front of anyone is, so what? That's why I'm not doing any hands on. What I'm trying to make you sure is that if you are attending any presentation, if you are attending any YouTube video, if you are watching any YouTube video, if you are getting trained under any community, and if you have a question in your head, so what? Why I'm learning this? So what? I should do this or not? This so what is your biggest crime that you are committing. And you all can understand, you are not all kids. You are watching YouTube, you are watching me, you are watching Hack the Fall season 2. That means you have that much of maturity to take the right decision. And if you are able to make that right decision, you need to understand why you are doing this. That is the most important part. Many people does it this wrong way. Definitely, when you are learning something new, there will be challenges. Today is difficult, tomorrow it is going to be way more, but day after tomorrow it is going to be the most amazing day. Many people dies tomorrow evening. Repeat with me. When you start learning, today is difficult, tomorrow is even way more difficult, day after tomorrow it is going to be ease. Many people dies tomorrow evening. That's the challenge. You start up something with the excitement, you start facing the errors, you leave it. Or if somebody is crazy, you will start investing some more time, and you understand, no man, this is not my cup of tea, I'm leaving. That's the challenge. On that go, you are die. You have to just put some extra effort to become more wiser than you were just before committing that. So that's the most important part. Now, having said that, Kubernetes also done something great. If you are able to implement all these parts, your installation becomes way more easier, your deployment becomes way more easier, your security of hardening of your operating system becomes way easier, and operational becomes very much smooth. So what happens when you adopt this entire stack with you? When you are able to understand all the things that I have just asked you, when you are able to answer all the questions that I have asked you, your installation becomes very easy. You can easily understand containers is just a click. Containers done. You can easily deploy application anywhere. You can identify the security threat. You just ask, hey, you want to configure the storage? Come to me. You want to install the matrices? Come to me. You want to understand about application flow? Come to me. You are going to talk about the securities? Come to me, man. You are talking about security patching? Come to me. You are talking about security certification install? I am going to do every single thing for you. That's where you become the enterprise ready. And that's why I just said the statement, 75% of enterprise user identify complexity of implementation and operation as the top block for the adoption. We don't know. We do the things in silos. Then how you are expecting that you being as a container expert or Kubernetes expert, people should hire you? Not possible. You have to ask yourself now, if any of you have gone through the interviews where you have taken the name that I know container, I know Kubernetes, why people rejects you? These all are the challenges that they are facing. So they want somebody who knows all these challenges, who knows how to remove these blocks. If you are able to do it, you are in. You are in. Ultimately, whatever these four blocks I have mentioned, installation, deploy, hardening, and operation, these all these all are the ask from any customer for adopting any new technologies. Their installation needs to be smooth, their deployment strategy needs to be easy, the security needs to be taken foremost concern, and operation should become way more easier than it used to be. So if you are able to understand, do give me a big shout out in the chat that, hey, we are able to understand why Kubernetes and containers we were getting rejected and why we are not able to understand. Yes. Now it comes to the best part, that recommended learning. Guys, do take the screenshot of these three websites. I highly recommend you all to just go and check out learn.openshift.com, openshift.com/try. If you have a good infrastructure, you can use it. But second, I would suggest for the professional people. And third one, Kubernetes by example. Just go and check out these websites. I do also have some of the amazing resources also, but I want you all to reach out to me on LinkedIn, Twitter with a customized message that, hey, Gaurav, we want to kick off our journey while learning Docker or Kubernetes, and reach out to me and I'll provide you with the all best learning resources that industry recommends, and I can share it with you without any hesitation. Reach out to me. Don't reach out to me just asking that, hey, we want a PPT, we want a PPT. No, PPT doesn't matter. The resources matter, the implementation matter. Reach out to me for any help that I can help you with. More importantly, if you are very new to containers world, this first website, the Red Hat OpenShift interactive learning portal, learn.openshift.com, is giving you the live scenarios. Just visit this website. It is a public website, free of cost. It also has a playground which gives you 1 hour of OpenShift deployed. Right. So with that, I just want to say thank you. This Cheers with Gaurav, your friend. Just I hope I was able to make the justice to the time that you all have given it to me. And before I leave, let me open up this website called learn.openshift.com so that I can help you that how and easy it is for you to just adopt it. And I request the Hack Default team by default that they can pop up my tab so it becomes way more easier. So I hope everybody can see this tab. If I'll just log into learn.openshift.com, it is very easy. Learn.openshift.com. Just go into this portal. My internet connection is bit housey today because of the things. Okay, here it is. So you can easily understand. This is the interactive learning portal. And if I'll increase this size a bit, you can easily understand how to deploy the OpenShift. All the challenges are being easily solved by this Red Hat product called OpenShift. GitOps, event-driven architecture by Kafka, OpenShift basics, OpenShift serverless, deploying with Quarkus, Cogito, business automation. If you're trying to talk about the operators, just go and check out Spring Boot, Service Mesh, Vertex, Java deployment, AIML, Linux fundamentals container, adding persistent storage to your OpenShift. And my friend, look at this part. Explore and experiment with OpenShift cluster for 60 minutes. This is again, just click on the start course and boom, your OpenShift playground for 4.7 on 4.5 and 4.7 is here. Click on start scenario and look, the playground is up and running. As simple as that. I need not to even deploy a VM. The people who are still wondering what VMs is, hey, your OpenShift cluster is really easy to deploy. Just go and start talking about it. Okay, now many of you said that, hey, Gaurav, you have shared this. That is fine, man. But we are still struggling to learn Linux. Okay, your friend is here, and I'm more excited by the replies that you guys are putting on the chat. Let me show you that how you can learn Linux. Or if you start developing the interest in learning Linux, this is the website for you, lab.redhat.com. I'll just post if somebody wants it. Otherwise, can Siddharth or somebody from the Hack Default team, can you guys please put this link in the chat window called lab.redhat.com, lab.redhat.com. Now, look, what is this is. This is the interactive learning portal to learn about Red Hat Enterprise Linux 8. Best part is, if you scroll down again to the last, you can see Red Hat Enterprise Linux Open Lab. This is again a scenario-based learning that you can just simply click. You just go and click on this website, and automatically you will also have a container up and running. These all are the RHEL containers, but yes, having said that, different tools that are embedded in Linux, you can easily start seeing the examples. And these are the platform powered by Katacoda, so you need not to even type. Just go and click. And also, I request the Hack Default team, why don't you also share this link called learn.openshift.com for everyone who can just simply click on it, which we just showed. Now, your friend is here. I'm quite excited by the energy that you guys have brought to the table. Let me show you the third website, which I just show you. Kubernetes by example.com. This is an amazing website that was launched recently by Red Hat. And let me share my screen back again. I hope I'm not making you bored. So, having said that, just last couple of minutes. So, this is the particular website which I was just talking about. This is the Kubernetes by example.com. Trust me, people, this is one of the most authentic way to learn the Kubernetes. Kubernetes by example.com. Just go and check it out. What an amazing way to do it. Linux Essential, Kubernetes Fundamental, Application Development by Kubernetes, developing with Quarkus on Kubernetes. Kubernetes at glance, what is Kubernetes, how it works, what is benefit, everything you can find it over here. Best part, what I want you all to take away from this website, look, learning path is there. If you want to know about containers fundamental, go and check it out. Kubernetes fundamental, go and check it out. Many of you were requesting that, hey, Gaurav, you have talked about containers a lot, how to get started. Everything is here, my friend. Everything is here. Hey, we are not able to understand Kubernetes. Just go and talk to the Kubernetes fundamentals. Kubernetes in 3 minutes. This video is amazing. I have also taken some of the hints from there. Everything is available. Everything is available. Just go and talk about what is Kubernetes, what is pod, replica set, deployment, label, service, Kubernetes log, building images, rolling updates, secrets, volume, tents, affinity, job, stateful sets, daemon sets. Oh my goodness. Everything you can learn it right from this website, absolutely free of cost. Nobody's charging you anything. You need not to go here and there. This particular website is also an industry recommended website. Just go and try it out. As simple as that. Nothing to be paid, 0 rupees investment, and learn like anything. Learn like anything. So that is there. And now, my friend, as I'm here, and I know many of you are quite excited to learn the things and play the games. So, Hack the Fall team, I have a little gift for everyone. I have pasted a link in the chat window. Why you guys don't paste that link in the main chat or in the comments, I would say, while I turn up the website. This website is called arcade.redhat.com. You know, the best part is when people get bored, they can learn about the things. These are the games online hosted in a form of a containers. Might take you to your childhood reminders, which is like Podscape, Pity with Earth, Zorabio, Zubhunts, Ship Wars, Square Off, and this is a highly recommended podcast series called Command Line Heroes. Just go and check this out. These are the amazing resources that anybody can learn. You can easily see all games are running on OpenShift. This is my favorite thing. That's why I showed you. Look, the power of containers. These all are running on OpenShift, and OpenShift is a platform as a service solution from Red Hat, which powered your containers and Kubernetes deployment with the ease. So people, just I hope I definitely make some sense to your time. Hack the Fall team, again, thank you so much for inviting me, giving me the time. I hope I did justice to the time that you guys have given it to me. For any request, I hope my LinkedIn, Twitter are always open. Just drop me, reach out to me with a customized message that, hey, Gaurav, we attended your workshop, you attended your video, or just tag me. And definitely be patient, guys. Sometimes I'm over flooded with the lot of requests and examples. So many a times I get a bit delay. But having said that, I'll definitely revert and reach back to you, and I can help you with that. So with that, thank you so much, guys. I hope I make justice to your time. And Pratmesh, you're looking super dude awesome, man. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Session was really awesome and it was super insightful, and the chat and myself loved it and got so much to learn. Um, and I'll try to bring up some questions that I can see in the chat.
Please.
And while I do that, if any of you have any questions, please put them in the chat and we'll get to it soon. Um,
But
we have a lot of,
before you bring up the question,
yeah,
many of you must be wondering this part that this guy was speaking and all and whatever it is. The harder you work for something, the greater you feel when you achieve it. Since morning, I was waiting for 7 p.m. that I'll go and talk to the Heck the Fall people, and I can see the comments. That's where it defined my success. That okay, the time is worth investment. Done. So I'll sleep so good tonight that somebody has, uh, whatever I did, somebody has acknowledged that, and that's done. So be happy. Yeah. Yes. So
definitely.
now
I'm seeing a
let's crack
lot
the
of
code.
positive comments. So we have a question here. asking, can you share more resources for beginners who don't know anything about containers, which sir has already
Already ready.
shared with the 3 links. Apart from that, can you uh, give them some roadmap for DevOps in short?
Okay,
Is what
so
someone
first of
asked.
all, Raj, talking about DevOps, DevOps is definitely not a tool to be learned. It is a mindset. Development plus operational, that is something that everybody knows. But developer DevOps, operational DevOps, both are different. The entire DevOps lifecycle contains of 6 component: coding, then building, testing, releasing, deploying, and then your monitoring. So basically, if you can master four of these, any four of these which I mentioned: code, build, deploy, code, build, release, deploy, test, and then this monitoring. If you can master four of these, it's done. It's that much simple. And fundamentals: learn Linux, learn networking, one language that is platform agnostic, talking about Python or something like that, and one tool like provisioning tool or a configuration management tool. That's all good for it. So I hope that makes sense. In short, I can say that. But yes, DevOps is again a huge things to be discussed. Yeah.
Awesome. So if any more questions are there, you can put them in the chat. And apart from that, I will be sharing the feedback link in the chat box, and those who fill it will receive the certificates from Hack This Fall team. Let me just share the link. Okay, so we have another question. Any suggestion or tips for hackers that hack this fall?
Okay. Suggestion or tip for the hackers that had the fall. This is something like, I would say in a very simple words, because it's 1 hour. Dream bigger, do bigger. Like, I
Okay.
always say to the people who knows me that your dream should not signify your personalities. It should be way beyond it, way beyond it. And Siddharth has put it down this question. I always remind of this story. When this Mukesh Ambani's father, what was the name? I forgot the name. Who was the father of Mukesh Ambani?
I'm not really
I,
sure.
I, I just slipped it. I don't know. Somebody please help us in the chat here. We forget the name of Mr. Mukesh Ambani's father. Dhirubhai Ambani. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So what happened when he earned his first payment? It was just earning 250 rupees. He went to a five-star hotel and he spent that 200 rupees on a tea. And all his fellow mates were asking that why you just spend on 200 rupees on the tea. Don't you think of your family and others? The reply of Dhirubhai Mani. He said, I want to know what they talk when they're having the sip of 200 rupees tea. So listen to the people. Dream bigger, do bigger. That would be the only suggestion I can give you to the all hackers. Never be afraid or never ever participate in anything just to win some swags and other. Those things will be on your way anyways. But try to cultivate the knowledge. Try to learn something new. Try to do something amazing that can bring change in somebody's life. And always remember, be fortunate to the all organizers because they are putting a lot of efforts. Be empathetic and in a collaboration approach to all your fellow mates who are participating with you. The hackathons is not about competition, it's all about collaboration, because they are getting all the new ideas around you. You should see that why they thought of that idea, why I was not able to thought of that idea. So that's why I always say dream bigger, do bigger, and I guess don't stop when you are tired, stop when you are done. So that's all.
Yeah, definitely. And some one more question that I can see in the chat is someone is asking, what is hybrid cloud?
Whew, hybrid cloud. Rishita, hybrid cloud. Okay. One thing is public cloud, one thing is private cloud. Mix of them is hybrid cloud. Thing is, what are the components that we are using in these two services, private and public? They are independently set. They are not going to use the cross functioning of it. Let's say one example is I have an Amazon services where I'm using 3 4 services of Amazon. On the other side, I have a private cloud called OpenStack, and I'm going to deploy 7 services. Now, these 4 services that I'm going to use it for my client application will be from Amazon. These 7 from the OpenStack, and I'm not going to merge them. When you are merging it, it's called multi-cloud. When you're keeping it separate, but yes, you are using for your better upliftment of the application, it is called hybrid cloud. So I hope I was able to make that sense. That's the short and crisp I can give it.
Awesome. Uh, Someone is asking, what if we get stuck somewhere? This is in regards to the question regarding the hackathons. So if they get stuck somewhere, what suggestions would you give them?
So what I can say, if you're stuck somewhere, ask your mentors. This Hack the Fall team. They are some great people who can always help you, and never ever hesitate. It takes me to my roots. In Mahabharata, Arjun asked a simple question in middle of the fight: "Who am I?" And you know what the result was? The Bhagavad Gita. Some simple question can give you the greatest answer of your own life. So never ever hesitate of asking the question, even if you are stuck somewhere. That is a question that is stuck in your head. Just be like boss and say, let me ask it. What is going to happen? Let's say you reach out to Pratmesh and he said, no, I'm not going to be, I'm busy, I'm not going to answer. Leave him. Go to Siddharth. Siddharth said, I'm organizing Hack the Fall and I'm quite occupied. Just go. Okay. Reach out to your fellow mates. Or if you don't trust them, that yaar, ye to mere jaise hi hai. Why I should be worried about them? Reach out to me. I'll connect you with somebody who can give you the right answer. So even if you're stuck, it is the same situation with everyone. Don't be worried. Just go ahead and ask the questions. That is going to give you the answers. Yeah.
All right. I think one last question that we have is Golang a prerequisite for this, or Python would help?
I guess I always recommend to learn Python, then all are the additive advantage. That's all. Because I'm from the known coding background, to be honest. I don't know C of coding. Apart from the mosquitoes, if I could have killed something, that would be coding for sure. But having said that, respect for all the coders, what I can say, you learn Python. That is more than enough. That is more than enough.
Okay. Yeah, just one more last question that we have is it like VM contains a guest OS?
Yes. VM definitely contains an OS, which is there. Yeah.
All right. So that was the end of the question and answer session. And thank you, Gaurav sir, for enlightening us on the topic of containers. And as you can see in the chat, it was really insightful. A lot of people are
I love it.
sending in a lot of compliments. So it was really
I would
insightful. Thank you so
just
much.
before I leave, I would simply say, guys, if you really love the session, definitely like, share, and subscribe to the channel of Hack the Fall. But I would still say, if you really like the things, do share it. Do share your experience with all the others, because somebody was there who was waiting, who was not able to attend. Share the experience. Just don't go on the social media and say thanks to Hack the Fall team, Siddharth, me, or Pratmesh. Don't do it. We don't require it. To be honest, on behalf of Siddharth and everybody, I'm saying it. But thing is, do share your experience, that what you felt, what you learned, what was not there. Reach out to me with the honesty that we don't like this thing, so that we can also improve. So that's the most important part that I can say to you. All good wishes to your way. One again, when I can say what I have started in the beginning by interacting with Siddharth and now continuing with Pratmesh, believe in yourself. Your limitation, it's only your imagination. You imagine and you can create wonders. Thank you, all the leaders, winners, and achievers, for having me. All kudos to the Hack the Fall team. If you need some more help, some more session to be delivered, guys, please feel free to reach out to me. I'll be more than happy to help in any way I can. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir, and everyone else. Um, Now, moving on, make sure you have registered for Hack This Fall. The link will be shared in the chat. The schedule is also available on the website that will be shared. All the links are also available in the description of this video. And make sure you also join the Discord channel where we have HTF Connects every Wednesday at 9 p.m. IST. And the most important part, don't forget to grab your swags. The links will all be shared in the chat soon. Let me just go ahead and share them. Also, please don't forget to fill the feedback form for the certificates, and Siddharth will also be announcing the swag winner giveaway that we had said that we will be having. So I think Siddharth will be active in the chat and he'll be sharing the winner for this session. Join the Discord community as well. And drum roll, who do we have as the winner this session? All right, the swag giveaway winner is Rishita. Congratulations. Please DM Siddharth in the Discord for the instructions. And yeah, just please visit hackthisfall.tech to know about the hackathon and register on DevPost. And thank you everyone for joining, and take care and see you in the next session.